Hello.
What's up?
Welcome to What's the Word? It's chat time.
I got the hoodie on. I figured I'd be all millennial. What's up?
We all have hoodies on.
It's hoodie day.
It's hoodie day. Are you wearing a hoodie?
It's hoodie day.
Yeah, you should be.
There, it's not. But are
Unless
you?
you didn't.
Put in the comments if you're wearing a hoodie. But a lot of you guys are probably. No, I was. Barrett thought I was pointing at her because she's on the other side of the camera. No, pointing to the viewers. But I know a lot of you guys are probably at work and you are probably more dressed.
Use the force, Luke.
Oh, Obi, Kevin Obi. I
Be
forgot
part
about
of
that.
the gang.
Well, he's not a part of the gang. Now you're alone. He joined me.
You can barely see yours on there, though, because it's the dark blue is blending in.
Eos says, for once, I'm not wearing a hoodie.
That is impressive.
That's okay.
That is impressive.
Serena says, hi, not wearing a hoodie.
Kelly Berardi said, my kids just licked all the strawberry frosting off the donuts.
That's so sad.
I'm so
What
sorry.
a great day for your kids. Your kids are like, we won the lottery. We got all the icing.
It's really the best part.
Pastor Nicole says, I really wanted to wear a hoodie, but couldn't because of multiple Zoom meetings. Yuck.
Multiple Zooms.
Joni is also not wearing a hoodie. Johnny's also not wearing a hoodie.
I had to do some maintenance to this hoodie because I've had it for a while, and apparently, like, it's gotten picks in this string, and I'm like, and they were like sticking out, like, off of the string. I was like, I got to handle that. So I got out the lighter and burned them off.
Oh, that's actually
Fire.
how you did that?
Oh,
Yeah.
I was wondering what the black.
Well, if I just like cut them, it'll still fray and,
Yeah.
unravel. So
But
I
it won't do that when
melted
you-
them together.
I have no string. It disappeared.
I've got no strings to hold me down.
Exactly, I'm
Make
free.
me laugh. Make me
It also disappeared in the
Bryson!
Strings on me.
Woo!
That used to be my favorite until I watched it as an
Ultron.
adult.
Oh,
Not Ultron, Pinocchio.
that's all I think of when I watch.
Grayson says, I'm here,
Oh,
but watching on
because
my TV,
Yeah.
so
Really?
very minimal commenting from me. We missed y'all the other day. We love you.
Yes.
We felt like we were not whole. It
I
was
know.
like, where are they?
Part of us was
So
gone.
we love you. We love you very much. Glad to see you. Yay. So today, that was
Awkward silence.
a very awkward segue.
Welp.
Hi, guys. So glad between two ferns. Hey, you know what? Speaking of comedy, because that made me think of comedy and comedians. I know that the guy named Kaby, or Khaby, that's on TikTok and Instagram and everything. I know that he's probably not a Christian because I've seen some of the things. But one of the things that I feel like he's proven is that you don't have to have a potty mouth to be funny. Like you don't have to have a mouth at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'll watch some of his things. Yeah, you don't have to speak at all. Like he's funny just by doing this, And I'm like, yeah, and he's got several. Like he's got a real good sense of humor. But I'm always bothered by comedians that feel like the only way that they can really drive a comedic point home is to throw the F-bomb at the end or something like that. It really has been refreshing to see. You just need to be, smart comedic-wise. That's what you need to use your
Be
brain and come up with a
actually
good joke.
funny.
So
Yeah.
funny people are actually smart people.
They actually are, yeah. I found that most comedians, if you watch most comedians, they're really smart. And part of what makes them funny is they're able to run back and forth between two different people groups and basically show the differences between those groups a lot of times. And that's they're able to pick it up like in psychology and pick up that psychology and make fun of how we think. A lot of times that's what makes them funny. Or find those moments that are little traps in our thinking, between a rock and a hard place. We're like, I don't know what to do. But they're really brilliant most of the time. That's why many of them are depressed. and is because they're smart, they see through things, and it's discouraging without Jesus. So a lot of them are actually depressed. And it's very similar to a preacher in this sense. This is one of the things. What are they doing?
I don't know.
Look at Marky's comment.
What did she say?
She said, I like making fun of Buddy. Does that make me smart?
Kinda. Kinda. So.
Only if it's funny.
Joni said Lashika was roasting her hard yesterday at the ladies. Yes.
That's true. She sure was.
Fresh and clean, makes you a genius. Who is that? Who's fresh and clean?
No clue.
I don't know.
Hey,
But
Fred.
hi.
Seems
Nice to
pretty
have
fresh
you.
and clean,
Yeah,
though.
I like that. I like the name. It's like a.
It's like clean, like in Kleenex.
Yeah. Nice to have you.
okay.
But yeah. So there's a lot of times comedians, it's very similar to preachers, and a lot of people don't know this, but many times preachers will only sense the anointing when they're ministering to other people because they don't carry that presence of God with them at home. And so they just want to preach all the time. They always want to preach because that's where they feel the anointing. Whereas we should carry the presence of God and feel that anointing everywhere. Well, many times comedians are the same way in the sense that the only time they really feel joy is when they're bringing laughter to other people. But when they get alone, they're very depressed. And of course, God is our source of joy, so we need to stay in His presence. But that's it's really interesting to watch. I've been paying attention to that. And a lot of times what will make somebody funny and this is true in multiple different areas, is when somebody's willing to commit. Like if they're willing to commit to their own joke and go the distance, that's what makes it funny, because everybody else is going to be reserved and hold back. But what makes it funny is they're committed to it. So you'll see that in a lot of different areas. Like even singing, if you half sing, it'll always not be very good. But if you will go for it, then it's actually a lot of times going to be better. Now, of course, if you're untrained and you're not skilled, you go for it, it's going to be ugly. That's why you need to practice alone. Practice alone. So, yes.
Barrett says, I commit to my jokes. That means I'm smart. That's how I interpreted that.
That was a commitment.
That was what made it good.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what makes me smart.
You have to watch it, though, because that same commitment that wins you also may make you jump on the couch like Tom Cruise and the world despise you for it. So that's the truth.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he did that?
Yeah.
You don't remember when he did that?
Being in love with Katie Holmes.
Yeah, I've heard references.
He decided that he was going to show the world. He was like on Oprah, and he was like, "How much in love are you?" And he jumped up on the couch and did a little dance on the couch, and everybody laughed in the room, but everybody was cringing, and like he dropped in everybody's opinion. They're like, "He's nuts," and so it was an intro. So you have to watch and know when to do that, when not to. I've not always done that well. I've been bad at that at times. Like, this is a time I shouldn't have been all in. Knowing the balance of that is very, very wise.
Johnny says, I laugh at my own jokes. Does that count?
No.
Yeah.
I had to face that reality too. That's why you'll hear me say, I'm like, I'm not that funny. I want to be funny. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work out. So
I think you're hilarious.
thank you. You're my daughter. That doesn't count.
Well, at least I don't think you're not. I mean, I feel like that's good.
That is a little better. So.
I will say that you are one of the barometers of humor, though. Like anytime that we, like the girls and I have talked about this, anytime we make you laugh, Pastor, like it's an accomplishment.
Success.
Oh, me?
Yes,
Oh.
for sure. Like it's anytime a meme gets past you, it's like that we won for the day. When I think I made you laugh last week. I literally went home and told George immediately. I was like, I made Pastor laugh today, and it was a good one.
That's funny.
For sure.
It's like Serena. Whenever she makes people laugh,
Yeah.
I have a list of things on my phone of times Serena was funny because she wants to remember those moments.
Oh my goodness.
She's like, can you keep up with this?
Yeah. One of her
That
one of
is
her
really
favorite
funny.
Sweet.
one of her favorite memes was it was like a pot of soup or like a bowl of soup and it says cool for a few minutes. It was like it was like a cooking instructions, cool for a few minutes. And then, but the meme said, whenever I make somebody laugh, cool for a few minutes. And that's
really
That's
funny.
pretty good. So one of the things we want to do is we just want to have a laid back chat day with you. If you didn't watch last week, there was so much revelation that came out. Very, very
Yeah.
good. But one of the things that we just felt led to do today was just chat. That's why the topic's there and everything. But one of the things we want to talk about is there anything that you're going through that you have questions about? Is there anything we can pray with you on today? And it doesn't all have to be like serious. Like I enjoyed this conversation. This is a good family chat as well, kind of family chat extended. And so that's I was looking. My mom's actually on here,
Oh.
and she says, "I love his laugh." I'm assuming she's talking about me.
your mom loves
Come
you.
on, buddy.
I do have a different laugh when I laugh hard,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yep.
is that what I do?
A little bit.
Yeah.
That's the best I could do. It wasn't the best. Okay,
That was-
Barrett says no, that's not what you do.
What was that just came out of you?
That's how we laugh
I know what
sometimes.
you're referring
Yeah.
to. I do.
I think
It'll probably come out at some
My
point.
mom has her friend that's like, just call Bryan, make him laugh, tell him to laugh.
I think
And
it
she
kind of
loves
turns
Bryan.
into a wheeze.
Yeah.
I think I laugh with a wheeze too.
There's more sound in between the
It's like
and his face gets really red, but his like cheeks go up. Like it's a good one.
yeah. Yeah.
NYC FJB
Fake laughs
said
are
fake
better
laughs.
than no laugh.
No laugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Have you ever seen
Sometimes.
Steve Carell's laughing without smiling?
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
No.
I think I've seen it, but I don't remember it.
Like he basically just does this thing where like he laughs without smiling, and it's just hilarious because his face is just so serious. He's just like guttural laughing with
He's
I wanna
he's
see that.
brilliant. He's brilliant. He's genius. I'll tell you another guy who is absolutely genius is David Spade. Like he is super smart. And but I watch him, and I mean a lot of those comedians, like they're genius. They're absolutely brilliant. And
Well, they know people well.
yeah, they know how to communicate to people. A
Yeah.
lot of times they don't, but it's almost like they're good there, but they don't play well with others. Like the only people that they, is other comedians a lot of times. It seems like, I mean, I've not lived in that world because I'm not funny, but, but yeah, it's interesting to watch. Yeah, Rebecca says Michael Jr. is a Christian comedian. He's my favorite. He's hilarious. He's funny. So, Joni, what?
Smizing.
is when you
That's an
smile with your
American.
eyes.
It's an America's Next Top Model reference
It is.
because they would teach girls how to smile with their eyes, but
Not with their
not
mouth.
affect their face.
Went.
But you can't squint too much because you got to see the eyes. Lessons learned with Tyra Banks.
Nailed it.
Alrighty.
Okay.
I've tried to do that so many times. Every time they tell me.
Grayson said there's a couple of guys, Pete Davidson, Chris Delia, yeah, and they're good examples of that. They're super funny, super smart, but really depressed on the inside, which is sad. That's the thing, and you don't want to live a life where it's like successful to the world, but not really successful.
Yeah.
You won't, and only Christ fills that gap. Like there's,
Yeah.
I'll say it like this: there's a lot of times there's that Christ-shaped puzzle piece, and that's the only thing that's going to complete the picture of your life. And that's it. That's the only thing that's going to really satisfy you. And a lot of times they're looking for everywhere, but they just don't want to go that way because they don't want to give up things. But what I've found is the thing about Christ is that the things that your flesh will tell you you're going to give up, Christ replaces with better things. Like it's always better. It's always better. And that's why I'll say, God, when he asks you for something, it's always opportunity to increase. Right. It's always opportunity to increase. But many times I see that people don't, they don't want to go down that path because they're deceived into thinking that it's worse. And it's not. It's so much better. Like, I don't want somebody to control my life. He's not controlling your life. You have all those decisions. You can choose whatever you want to do, but he's just saying this is the better way. And then all of a sudden you have like peace, and you have, you just have joy and peace and the goodness of God. And it's like, I have a heart. Like, I mean, it broke my heart when Robin Williams, when Robin Williams took his own life. Oh man, it hurt my heart. Because here's this brilliant man. I remember watching him in the early days, like on Mork and Mindy. And I watched that. I laughed so hard. I thought that was the funniest thing. And I was a kid and I didn't understand all of the jokes that were there. But to watch him progress and just be a great actor, be a great comedian, and then see that, it just hurt my heart. It made me want to get the joy of the Lord out there more. So anyway.
And it's different when it overflows because God is your source. Because it won't, like, if you're letting yourself be the source, it won't be an overflow out of you onto other people. It's all you have. And then those comedians, they have nothing left for themselves because they're the own source. But when it's God, it's overflowing you and overflowing onto other people. It's you're not left empty.
Yeah.
That's completely different.
Yeah. He will fill all of those places. One of the characteristics of salvation is restoration, and that means to restore anything that's old, broken, dry. He restores it all. One of the names for him is the balm of Gilead, and if you can just imagine, like an ointment that fills in all of the cracks of our life, and that's who God is. So, Nicole says your co-hosts don't know Mork and Mindy.
Nope.
Oh,
but I've heard of them.
I just think how sad that is that you didn't know that show.
I tried to just smile. I got the point.
Nanu. You don't know what that means
Nope.
either.
I'm assuming that's from Mark and Mindy.
He was an alien, huh?
That's from Mark and Mindy.
Mork and Mindy, yeah. He was an alien.
Mork or Mark?
Mork.
Mork.
I tried to act like I could
From
relate.
Mark and Mindy.
It's from Mark and Mindy. I'll just
Johnny
stop
said
talking.
he saw him at a USO show in the desert. So he was like an alien that somehow had to come and integrate with society.
Oh.
And he was just really awkward and everything. And
Like Elf.
yeah,
I do
Or
know.
Alf is awesome.
I do
yeah.
know that one.
E.T. was kind of a totally different story, but it, yeah.
Still an
Yes.
alien.
Alf was
Aliens.
a great show too.
Predator.
Totally different story.
Still an alien, though. You got that part.
Yeah.
Well,
They didn't.
Star Wars.
Alien didn't really integrate in society.
Yeah,
He
not
kind of
Keep going, buddy.
blew up.
Eventually
Yeah.
you'll get it.
I'm just randomly listing every alien movie I know. Independence Day.
It's the same thing.
What's
Not,
the one?
not it.
Same.
Not it.
What's the one where the girl from?
E.T.
No. The girl from Enchanted, she speaks to aliens.
Is that
She-
Mars? The Mars one with Matt Damon or something?
No.
Or Integral.
No, she's
a good
she's
one.
like a speech, like a linguist, and she
Yeah,
learns the
Yeah,
language.
that's
yeah,
it.
yeah, that's the one.
That's
that
what-
Barrett's
wait.
talking about.
Contact.
Yeah.
I just didn't have the right name, but I was tracking with you.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
You were probably
Reaches
thinking
out
Adam.
toward
Adams.
That was actually a good. That was a good movie.
With
I enjoyed it.
I saw
Hawkeye.
like a third of it.
because it was such a great movie.
Yeah.
Couldn't help yourself. Had to turn it off.
Yeah.
This is so good. If you
This
guys
is so good. I'm
If you
not
guys
watching
have ever
any more of this.
wondered what it's like to go out to lunch with us, it's very
This
similar
is
to
it.
this.
This is it.
It's very similar.
Lunch plus.
Oh, it's the name of the thing. What? It's happening now.
It's the name of the
thing.
movie.
The thing.
The thing. My mom says, "Laugh out loud." This is funny. Oh, that's it.
Arrival, that's
Arrival. Contact.
Yes.
I'm
Yep.
thinking
Thank you,
every
George,
time I
for,
saw
like,
Arrival, I would think Contact with Jodie Foster, which Kevin Nowicki nailed. Good job.
Don't know.
Yes, you are right, George. Ella Enchanted is
No.
Ella Enchanted is with Anne
Yep.
Hathaway.
Yeah.
Enchanted is with Amy Adams.
There we go.
I always get
No.
Ella Enchanted and The Princess Diaries mixed up, even though they're in two different,
Yeah.
Okay.
centuries.
Yeah.
And one is good.
The
And
fact
one
that you
is
know they're
bad.
two different
Yeah.
centuries bugs
I
me.
liked them both as a
What?
10-year-old girl.
I'm sitting here like, okay, Princess Diaries, I know. Ella Enchanted, I kind of know. I think I remember seeing that. But the fact that you know
Both.
that they're from two different centuries and enough of that storyline is like. But here's the issue. They came out after I was well into my 30s, at least the Ella Enchanted one, or 40s. So I just didn't care. But I didn't care. I was past the caring age. So, but
I also thought you said The Princess Bride, so I was giving you credit for like a solid movie reference.
that's
I
a
did
great
not
movie.
realize that you said The Princess Diaries until right now. Marriage is what brings
Marriage.
us together. You know, okay, so you know what a mark of a fantastic pastor and spiritual father is? When you get married to your husband and your pastor's the one who performs the wedding, he pulls out like a Princess Bride hat and says the entire marriage speech.
At the
That is
That is,
rehearsal.
what my,
commitment.
that is what my pastor did
At the
for my
rehearsal.
rehearsal
At the
dinner.
rehearsal,
and
not
it was
at the
wonderful.
wedding.
Yeah, I was
That's
gonna say.
commitment
I feel like
to
that's
No. But
important
during the wedding itself, do you remember you did this, Pastor? During the wedding, the pastor like had gone through our vows, and then he leaned up to me and George, and he whispers, he goes, "Do you? Do you?"
That's right.
Because it's a reference from Spaceballs. That was for George. So Pastor still dropped one during the actual
That's
wedding that no
awesome.
one else heard.
That is true. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah.
So do you? Do you?
Oh goodness.
It's done.
Kelly just asked Grayson,
about
which is better, Princess Diaries or Ever After? Ever After.
What is
Yes.
Ever
Ever After is Cinderella, basically, with Drew Barrymore. Did you just sing that?
I don't know who that was.
Buddy,
What?
you just got teased for Princess Diaries.
What is Ever After?
That was a good song.
Who's it with?
It
I'll
was
stop
playing
talking.
in my
I don't know.
head.
We have a picture of that. We have a picture of the Princess Bride hat,
We
Yep.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen
bishop
it.
hat that I made.
Yeah.
It was
Because I didn't just do it.
You
I
made it?
I made
Wow,
the hat
that's
to do
dedication.
it.
Speaking
Yeah.
of commitment,
Ever After.
that was
Yeah.
it.
We need to find it and put it up.
I have that. I can just send that.
Yes.
Bad boy back there.
George
He's like,
said,
During
yes.
the wedding, he did Spaceballs. Yep, that's
It was
true.
awesome.
But I will say, that movie's really dirty. And
Yeah.
I didn't remember that. And then I
not
pulled it
endorse
up and I was like, this was a really funny movie. And it'd been a long, like 20-something years since I'd seen it. And we were about 2 minutes in. I was like, nope, not watching that. Not watching that.
Yeah, we're not endorsing the movie. It was just a
No.
very nice moment that Pastor
it
did
was-
for us.
That one moment is funny, but that was about it. So. Yeah.
So George
Johnny,
says,
buddy, we need to go shooting and drive fast cars.
yeah. George also said, buddy, let's go do some man stuff. See, here's the thing. People don't invite me to do man stuff much. And
Then
basically.
you should take them up for sure.
Yeah. No, I would
You
love
should say
to.
yes.
I would love to. George says, buddy, you own guns. You don't need to sing songs.
That is a great line.
But I have
That's a
nowhere.
great line.
I have nowhere to shoot said guns.
Yes, you do. My backyard.
Is that legal?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, that's where I shot my
We are
first
in the
gun.
country.
See,
That's
that's a difference between the North and the South.
no kidding. No kidding. Where can I shoot guns? Out the back door.
Well,
I literally shoot squirrels from inside my house. You're not supposed to be here.
No, that's how I've woken up so many days. Like,
Yeah.
hello, there's a squirrel.
No,
Kevin,
not
sorry.
Kevin Nowicki, not The Princess Bride, but Spaceballs.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
what
figured
would.
you would know that by just the name of the movie.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say I don't know why you would think it was clean with the name Spaceballs, but which, if you don't know, was a parody of Star Wars by Mel Brooks. But he
Star Wars is where Mark Hamill is from.
Luke Hamill.
Mark.
Oh my goodness!
Camel.
What?
Oh, you are hurting my in.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Family
Never
chat
mind.
with Mark.
No,
Never
I
mind.
didn't.
Good.
Very quickly. Never mind.
Never
Just
mind.
kidding. Never mind.
Grayson, we shoot guns where we want to, when we want to. America. Great line. Johnny
Great
says,
line.
am I invited? Sure. At something, somewhere. Yes, Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny, there was a squirrel. He no longer exists.
Nope.
Squirrels get in your house
Incinerated.
and eat and break things and cause house fires.
Squirrels are bad.
Yeah, they are a nuisance.
Yeah.
Okay, Kevin, y'all
That's a
have to
valid point.
read different ones.
Yeah,
Huh?
Kevin said that is not the difference between the North and South. That's the difference between the city or the country and the city. Makes sense.
George said, Abby,
Yeah,
you get
there's-
to wake up to the sound of freedom. That's what I feel. Like, I just start singing the national anthem.
Marky must have said something. I missed it, but George said, let's mute Marky.
It was
Probably
the Mark
Luke
Hamill. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I said his name wrong.
Yeah, she
I
did.
asked who it was, and then I was trying to fix it, and then I said his name wrong.
Oh,
And George
I
was
see.
actually very gracious. He didn't really talk
He was.
about it.
Yeah.
But now
Until
that's
now.
brought up again, he's like, no.
The second
it's
time he can't let it go.
Nope.
Second time he's like, I'm done.
So this has nothing to do with Star Wars, but I was on the phone with my dad today. I haven't talked to my dad in a little bit. I thought this was funny. And George will laugh. We had sent him, my brain went here from thinking Celtics, Boston, whatnot. So we had sent him for Christmas. No. We'd sent him for Christmas this like great big picture of the Boston Red Sox, Fenway Park. Fenway, yeah, whichever way. And it was really it's really cool, very sportsy. My dad is very, very sportsy. So I get on the phone with him and I'm about to hang up. He's like, oh, by the way, the next time I talk to George, I'm going to tell him that I thought I liked him, but I don't anymore. I'm like, what has happened? And he's like, well, you guys sent me the Boston Red Sox picture for Christmas. I'm like, yeah, don't you like it? Like, we thought it was really cool. He's like, I'm not hanging that in my house. I was like, why? Like, I thought that he had found something bad. He's like, I hate the Red Sox. Like, he's the only person in Maine that doesn't like it. He's like, my team is the Orioles.
Hey,
and and then he just started laughing so hard because he's waited 2 months to tell us, like, since Christmas. He's like, yeah, I can't hang it up, but it was very nice.
Oh my gosh.
But like he laughed so hard about it this morning. He's like, I can't hang that up, but thanks, guys. I was like, I'm sorry, we got you an offensive Christmas present.
Orioles?
Yeah, the Orioles. We picked Dad used to pick the teams that just didn't win.
I mean, that used to be the Red Sox.
It used to be the Red Sox. You're
Yeah.
not wrong.
Speaking of teams that never win, the Cincinnati Bengals are going to the Super Bowls for the
Really?
first time since 1988. They've not been to the Super Bowl. Like, something in the world is happening because the Bengals are in the Super Bowl.
I didn't even know they were a real professional team.
Neither did I, honestly.
I saw that. I was like, is that a joke? Like, Cincinnati's in the championship game? What?
Ooh, Sammy has the picture ready if you want to see the picture of
Oh,
Princess
really?
Bride.
Okay.
Yes.
But
Do this.
marriage is what brings us together today.
That was so long ago.
So glad they snapped that shot right in the middle of me holding my mouth open. That's awesome. Middle of speaking.
George, you didn't do that. We both did that. I signed off. That was not you. It was very much a team now or joint present that just made him laugh. Pastor Nicole says, wasn't the Cubs winning more of a miracle than the Bengals? The Cubs won
Yes.
108 years.
Win 108 years. Of winning,
Wow.
though, they didn't win for 108 years, but the Bengals haven't even been to the game. They haven't been to the game. And the last time they were in the game, I think they lost. So
Sorry,
it's
guys.
been, I don't know how long it's been since I don't know if they've ever won. We need a trivia person, like find out, have the Bengals ever won the Super Bowl? And while you're at it, don't look up the Panthers and if they've won a Super Bowl or not. So
The answer is no.
they've never won
They
in
do
all
not.
the years.
One of 12 teams in the league that do not have any Super Bowl victories in their franchise history.
Yeah.
Maybe this year.
Who are they playing?
The LA Rams.
Um,
Are they like purple?
LA
or something?
Rams, which no,
Oh,
that's
just kidding.
Minnesota.
I don't know.
The
They
LA
used-
Rams, who used to be the
St.
St.
Louis.
Louis Rams, who used to be the LA Rams.
really? I didn't know that they were the LA Rams first.
Yeah,
That's cool.
pretty sure.
I'm pretending like I know sports.
I'm
I
pretty
just
sure.
lived in St. Louis for a while, so I'd see the Rams. I'm like, oh, cool.
I
the
forgot you
team.
lived in St. Louis.
But I didn't know that they had belonged to LA first. I got real irritated when they bought them. I'm like, no, that's St. Louis.
I've never been irritated about anything sports.
You know what? There was one time Pastor took me and Buddy out to lunch. And do you remember this, Buddy? And we were watching biking. It was like the Tour de France,
oh,
but it
yeah.
was not
Cycling.
France.
Cycling.
Cycling. What race was it? Like, I don't remember what it was.
It wasn't one I knew, but it was a pretty good one.
And so Pastor is like teaching Buddy and I, like we're sitting like right underneath this TV and we're watching it. Pastor's teaching us how cycling like works and how you've got to like keep your pace up and like the different like all this like the mobs
Yeah.
and stuff that would like take them over, different things. We were there for maybe an hour or two, somewhere in there. And so Buddy and I started to get invested in what was happening. And Pastor's like telling us all this different stuff. And so we're watching, we're like, yeah, go this guy. Like whichever guy it was, he was way out in front, clearly gonna win.
And then they
Until the last 200 yards.
Like literally, he's
Right at the end.
maybe 600 feet from the finish line and just his legs give out and he stops and all the other people pass him.
The
And he got, like,
Peloton,
50th.
the Peloton, yeah, he ends
Oh.
up like 30 something. And that's what I was explaining to him the whole time is the Peloton is the big group of cyclists and they will have the wind resistance cut to a minimum and they can put different people in front and keep that person fresh and they will catch a small group, they will catch them. When they decide to, they can. Sometimes they'll let them go too long, but they're like doing calculations in their head. How much time do we have? What speed are we going? And they kind of have a feel for that, and they have teams that will figure that out. And what was the funniest thing is because at the beginning of our lunch, they're like, oh, yeah, great, cycling, like this. And by the end of it, they're like, go, guy, go, get to the finish line. Oh, no. I was like, that's what I was telling you about.
I remembered why I don't watch sports
Yeah.
because it finished and I was like, I just rooted for nothing. Like, he's 600 feet, dude. Like,
I think it's also important to add that we had been on the media fast for several months.
this is so
like, the entertainment level.
interesting.
It did go up a little bit, I think, because of that.
Oh my goodness. I called Pastor Nicole later, like she was like on a lunch break or something. I was like, I need to tell you what Pastor Bryan did to me today. Oh my goodness. I was still like at that point later. I was like, the guy, 600 feet.
The guy.
Kevin asked me, do I remember the Icky Shuffle? I do. I remember the name. I don't remember the team or the actual shuffle. I remember the Bears rap video from their winning team and Jim McMahon and all of those guys. And that was in like, George will know, maybe 88, something like that.
The year the Bengals did not
Yes, that was a very wise choice of you. Very, very broad shot that hit its mark.
Very broad shot. You said they haven't been to a Super Bowl since '88 earlier, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
like around that same time. They might have gotten beat by the Bears.
The Bears.
I remember watching them in the Super Bowl that year they went. That year
That's
they
the
went.
laugh.
I'm so sorry, Cincinnati.
Poor guys.
I'm so glad you're back. Good job.
You know what?
Well
Just
done.
for this competition, I'm going to be rooting for them.
Yeah, me too.
I know. I like 85. Thank you, George. That's it. I remember that so used to. I love this. I was so mad when they changed this. If you scored, like these players would choreograph some kind of dance or celebration or whatever, and they were hilarious. I mean, they were funny, and it was awesome. And they would, it was just really good, and they would do this stuff. And then the NFL's like, no, we want to. We want to be sportsmanlike and not do that. And they cut all of that out and fined them for it and everything. I was like, dude, you're taking the personality. Let people be people. They're enjoying a win. Let them enjoy a win. Well, the other guy's not enjoying it. Well, then win. Score.
Just don't lose.
Practice.
Stop
do it.
losing.
Yeah.
Kelly's
Jeez.
here like singing.
I mean, if you were talking about the Bengals, I'd understand your argument. But you're talking about everybody.
That was a roast.
Pastor Anthony and Pastor Jennifer, we love you and we appreciate Ohio.
I don't know what we're talking about. So.
We're talking about sports.
Just
Marky.
sitting here.
Sports.
Yeah, I love sports.
Ouch.
Kevin says the Bengals got beat by the 49ers in Super Bowl. Oh, yeah. What a year. Oh, man. In 88.
Here.
What a year to go to the Super Bowl against the 49ers. Because that was when in their reign. And they were like Jerry Rice, Joe Montana, all of those guys. I don't think that after the guy after Joe Montana, I'm trying to think what his name was. He did really well.
Peyton Manning?
Huh?
I'm just throwing out the only
Don't
football
do
person I
that.
know.
Don't do that.
That's a dangerous
don't do
game to
that.
play.
No. I'm trying to think of the guy's name after.
Johnny said, Marky's zoned out.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Please
When you
stop.
get hit.
Please stop.
Gonna get thrown off.
Kevin Nowicki says the
Tebow.
85 Bears. No. 85 Bears beat the Dickens out of the Patriots. Well, now I really like the Bears. Sorry.
Bears.
Everybody from New England comes down to Boomerang, and I'm like the worst Patriot. I'm not a Patriots fan at all. Ever.
Nope.
Ever.
Yeah, that was a fun Super Bowl, my first time here.
I learned that most people aren't outside of New England.
You are correct.
Yep.
You are correct. So, but you know what? You got to give it to him, and especially Tom Brady, like outstanding talent, truly a candidate. If he's not, he's top tier, greatest of all time without question. Steve Young, that's who it was, who took over the 49ers after Joe Montana. Joe Montana, watching Joe Montana and Jerry Rice play was one of the highlights of watching football when I was young. They were amazing.
I've heard of them. If that helps.
Rebecca, Pastor, read that, Barrett.
Pastor's reaction to that sports guess was George's reaction when I guessed the wrong name for the Star Trek ship.
The beacon.
It's true.
Kevin says he grew up in New England, hates the Patriots. That's what I love you, Kevin.
Aw.
I love you. You're awesome.
Oh.
I will say one of the greatest moments I saw in sports was 2011, and I think it was the Patriots and the Giants, and it was, or not 2011, 2001. You look at 2001 after the towers fell, and you go to the Super Bowl and you have the Patriots in the Super Bowl. And I never pulled for the Patriots, but I was pulling them for them that year just because of their name.
Yeah.
And just because of that and what they represented. And they were like a long shot. And it was a tough one. And in the end, they get the victory over it. And I'm like tearing up just for what it represented in America. It was one of the greatest things. I think it was the Giants that they were playing. I'm sure one of the guys will know. I've never been the big sports trivia. But it was like whoever the team was kind of represented, like, here's this David and Goliath situation, but the Patriots came through, and it was like a great, great Super Bowl. So
That's awesome.
Yep. So let's see here. Y'all have to, oh, yeah. Wow, Kevin, you're bringing back memories. He said Joe Montana, 49ers, Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Ronnie Lott, Roger Craig, man. Yeah, they were. I didn't like them because they kept beating all my teams, but man, they were good, and so good. But watching Jerry Rice play, and he would, even in practice, my understanding is when he would catch the ball, every play in practice, he'd run it to the end zone. He would not stop and turn around and go back and run another play. He said, because I am planning on running every ball to the end zone in a game, and I'm going to practice that way, and that's what he would do, and that's part of the way he'd be great. And he was talking about Joe Montana. He said, Joe, people don't realize how hard he throws that ball. He said, I've dislocated every knuckle in my hand from catching the ball from him. Like that's,
Wow.
he said it was just amazing. And I grew up watching the Redskins, and they had the Hogs, and oh, gracious, 44 was the running back, John Riggins. And golly, that was a great team. And they would just, and Joe Gibbs was the coach, and just took them to victories. It was awesome. That was my team then. Yep. Hannah put up America.
I saw this meme of Michael Jordan. I don't know football as well, but basketball I do decent with. And Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson, all these people, they were America's dream team, like for the Olympics. And so Michael Jordan's like 60 now. All these guys are 60. And an interviewer asked him, who do you think would win now? Like the USA Dream Team or like people like Curry and all these other people? And Michael Jordan's like, well, the Dream Team would. They're like, really? What makes you so confident? And he's like, well, most of us are 60 now, but we'd still beat them by a few points. Like, he was still talking trash. It was great.
That is awesome.
That's great.
There's a great like short documentary on the Dream Team when Jordan came in, talking about there's a new sheriff in town, and it's got some language in it, but outside of the language, the story there that is like Magic Johnson and I forget who's with them, but anyway, they're telling the story of Michael Jordan coming in, and
Larry Bird.
Larry Bird is on that, yeah, and that is one of the best stories if you watch it. Just watching the dynamics play out when these guys who've been doing this for so long, they're extremely talented. And Jordan comes in, and there's like this, who's the better one? And most of the time they wouldn't let them kind of go after it, but this one day the coach let them go and play full out, and they played full out hard against each other in practice. And it was really a cool story.
My dad had had the games taped, so I remember growing up watching like the Dream Team play at the Olympics and stuff.
Yeah,
It was really cool.
That was a big deal because they had never allowed our players to play like that. And actually, because other teams would have like their professionals playing, but we would stick to the rules of the amateurs. But somehow, I forget how that worked out, but they allowed, like, let our real players play, and they just dominated, you know. It was really good, yeah.
We're having some smack talking.
Yeah, Kelly said
Schmack.
well, the Washington football team is Bill's favorite team.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that? She said the Redskins.
But
I
now
don't
they're
care what
officially
you say. They are the Redskins, and they were stupid for changing that name.
My dad's a Redskins fan. And every once in a while I ask him, how's the Washington football team going? He doesn't appreciate it.
No, I don't either. And they said, the owner said a few years ago, we'll never change that. That name was an honor.
Mm-hmm.
That name was an honor to them. You're a fierce warrior, all this garbage. It's like, come on. That's an honor. They are named after something that's honorable. And because they are fierce warriors, and that's what they were saying that they were. Like, okay, so football, what are we doing? Are we playing patty cake now, or what? Are we playing football? Come on.
Thank you for listing all of the people out, Kevin, because I couldn't remember Charles Barkley's name, and I was trying to think of it.
Yes, that was it.
Thank you.
That was it.
I know like 3 of those names.
I remember when Patrick Ewing, I think he played for UCLA, and you have to understand, I'm not really a sports guy, but I know some moments. So it was him and Jordan in the NCAA championship playing against each other. And was it UCLA he played? Trying to remember. So one of these guys will know that. But Christian Laettner was on Duke. I don't remember all the other ones. But anyway, those were some great games and great talent coming out. So Larry Bird was on the Celtics.
Nope, sure wasn't.
Did you know that Michael Jordan was the first one to have the long pants or the long shorts in basketball?
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, because he wanted to hold on to him whenever he bent over, and kind of like wipe his hands off.
Oh yeah.
And because before that they were like
Scarring.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
That was very normal at that time.
Yeah, and he's the one that started that, and
Yeah.
now everyone does it.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Sweet.
Kelly said the Eagles were her favorite team. Donovan McNabb was her favorite player, and the year they started dating was the year McNabb got traded to the Redskins, and Bill convinced me it was a sign.
Aww. We're meant to be together.
Thank you. I didn't see the part.
Cliffhanger.
That's it. Kevin DeWicke said Ewing played for Georgetown. That's it. I remember that.
No, when I took George for his birthday one year to go see the Hornets here in Charlotte, obviously because I wanted to bless him, but my sole desire to go was I wanted Michael Jordan to be there because he owns the Hornets. So he'll pop in every now and then. And I'm like, I want to see him in person because I thought he was the coolest. He and Bird, they were the two.
Yeah.
I'm sounding like I know sports. It's really just basketball from this era because I watched them with Dad.
I saw there was a guy maybe from the Ukraine, and he actually played over there, but the whole video was basically showing that he's the only one that really ever got Michael Jordan's number, and Jordan struggled against. And even Jordan said, this is a great player.
Wow.
He would get frustrated playing this guy. And the guy just had you're not going to intimidate me, and it was really cool. It was a very neat video. But then that guy, tragically, he died in a car accident, and he was right at like the height of his career and died, and that was really sad. But it was cool to see the competition that they had against each other and the respect, in that way. But that was really neat.
I kind of feel like it's like the Rocky Balboa with the Russian.
Marky very much wants us to talk about something else.
I don't know what we're talking about for the past 25 minutes. I've just been sitting here like, yeah.
Yeah, that's
McNabb.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Well, that's what I feel like when you talk about Ella Enchanted.
That was Buddy. Buddy did that.
I didn't do that. No. I think you brought it up, and then I continued.
I think it was the comments.
That was the comments.
It was
It was
you
the
guys.
comments.
Oh, it was
The
one of
comments.
you guys.
What is, put it in the comments right now, who is your
Greg.
who is your favorite college team? Put it in the
I don't
comments right
know.
now. Yeah, that is true. All right, now this is a great topic. But Nicole says the Super Bowl used to have cool commercials. I would watch the Super Bowl, whether I like the teams or not, just to see the commercials because they were so creative and they were such a moment where everybody watched. I loved watching those commercials.
Yeah.
But it's gotten to the place now with that and the halftime shows. It's so demonic now. I don't even want to see it. But I wish it would be like that of old, but it hasn't been. So, all right,
George,
let's
what
see what they
college
say.
team do we like?
What's your favorite college team? And then put in what's your favorite professional team. So Buddy says WVU. So West Virginia.
Oh, I know that.
Awesome.
Yeah, they were the closest ones to us, and that's where both my parents and my older sister went.
Really?
So, yeah.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Maine doesn't have
Kelly
a college.
says Syracuse. That makes sense.
Bears, Black
Up
Bears,
around,
hockey.
up above that, 1 hour above Syracuse, Watertown, New York. That's where I went for cold weather training.
Pastor Nicole said the Impact University disc golf team.
Great call.
It consists of just Pastor and Buddy, but they're great.
Mom says Tar Heels and Jordan era, or is it Ura?
Or, I don't know.
You had to watch the Lunch Plus early broadcast to understand that one. What did Kevin say? Because it popped up beyond. Oh man, all y'all's comments. God, you're so active. Jeez. Ah.
Kevin says, buddy, are you a Mountaineer fam?
So
Fam.
Kevin said,
Yeah,
whoever
sure.
lines up against Tennessee Volunteers is my favorite team. Hannah's apparently he's not a fan of Tennessee.
Apparently.
Yeah. Hannah Sittler, don't have one. Mom says Tar Heels in the Jordan era. I agree. Serena, all I know are Duke and Syracuse. Are those your teams? And please don't say your team is Duke. Please.
If it is, make a wise decision before you comment again.
Yeah, that's
Just
very
don't.
good.
Just don't comment.
Yeah.
Just silence.
I think my mom said trashy after you said Duke. I think that's what
She was
happened.
talking about the commercials.
Well, it was very fitting.
Ill-timed.
It was very fitting.
She said Super Bowl is trashy.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is
Thank you.
now.
Thank you.
And Duke.
The only thing
Right.
I ever used to watch was Phil Mickelson play the Masters. Like,
That's cool.
I mean, stuff like that.
Golf.
Golf. That's what my dad likes is golf. So I'd watch Phil Mickelson and
Yeah.
Tiger
Woods.
Woods and stuff, and I'd
That's
go to
awesome.
games and go to the matches
So
and stuff.
those guys are so talented.
I like it because it's chill. It's
I don't
like
think
relaxed.
I've ever made it through
That's the
an entire
best way
golf
for me to
game.
take a nap.
Yeah.
I would take naps.
Watching,
I would.
if I want to go to sleep, I watch golf or I watch
Bob
curly-headed
Ross.
painting guy. Yeah, Bob Ross.
Oh yeah.
Curly-headed
Within
guy.
seconds, I'm like, that's a happy little tree.
I love it.
That's
I
a
love
happy
it.
little tree.
It's great.
It's
I
like,
will
we don't
say,
make mistakes.
like sports-wise, I don't super care. I care for George. But when the Olympics rolls around, it's a different
yeah.
ball game. Like
Yeah,
when
I
the
love
Winter
the
Olympics
Olympics.
comes, which should be soon.
Yeah.
It's this year, right?
I thought so.
It should
Hong
be
Kong?
this year.
I thought
Yes.
so.
It could
When
have been
that
last
comes
year.
Suddenly,
around.
we've decided it's okay to have mass gatherings in China.
Yeah.
Moving on.
I'm okay with the Olympics. I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm gonna start sending Abby neat news things about the Olympic standings, like every week until it's done.
I love
so
the
ready.
Olympics.
With the Olympics are happening?
Especially the,
Yeah,
Winter.
they
the
should
Winter Olympics. I love the Winter
Like
Olympics.
now?
The Winter Olympics, they happen every 4 years, and so it's slated to be this year because last year was 2018.
Yeah.
Why did I think it just happened?
Was that the
We had
summer
that-
They
Olympics?
held it off
Because
1 year.
They held them
The
off.
summer.
So the Olympics are always every 4 years on a year divisible by
two.
4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
By 4. So that would have been 2020, 2024.
Yeah.
And the Winter Olympics happen in the middle of that. So 2022, 2026.
It's like every 2 years,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the summer and then 2
Yeah.
years later the winter.
Yeah.
So I love the Winter Olympics.
Same.
They're my favorite.
What's your favorite one to
Curling.
watch on the Winter Olympics?
I like curling. I do like curling.
I answered
it's
your question.
cool.
like,
Yeah.
before you even started.
What's your favorite one to watch on the Winter Olympics? Like your favorite event to watch?
I like the bobsledding.
Oh, man.
Bobsledding is fun.
I like that. That's the thing. That's why I like them. I love the ski jump.
Yes,
I
that's a
love-
fun one.
I love, yeah.
They always look so.
The peppermint patty, they had a peppermint patty commercial during the Winter Olympics some years ago, and everybody was like, I feel the cool breeze, and the dude jumps up on the table and does like he's doing the ski jump, and everybody was laughing.
Is it luging when you're on the sled and you're lying backwards or forwards, either way,
That's
and
it.
you're like going
Yep.
up and down the
It's
tunnel?
the single person
Love it.
on a sled.
That's a fun
Love
one.
it.
Also, Murky just asked me if she was missing something inside of her with the fact she has nothing to say about the Olympics.
Like
either.
I like watching figure skating for a minute, but the competitive aspect, that's the part where I turn to Barrett. I'm like, am I missing something inside me? Like, is there, I don't, as far as who's going to win or anything like that, like, I don't know.
George and I get decked out in America gear. We're like, America, we're gonna win.
I love the skiing. I love all that. And then they added
Downhill skiing.
Then they added like the snowboarding.
Yes.
And they added what was the thing that they added, the snowboard
like the pipe.
No,
skate
not the
park?
pipe, but they had the quick races. Where
Yeah.
it's very quick races, and they're over in a couple of minutes. Very fast, very exciting. And then the speed skate with Apollo Ono, that was awesome. I love watching.
It starts in 3 days.
Whoa.
We can watch it at Lead at nighttime.
It starts
on
in
the
3
4th.
days?
On the 4th is what.
Yeah, that's what Sammy says.
Oh my goodness.
Well, then,
I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
I'm so
Praise
excited.
be
Oh
to
my
the
gosh! Yay!
Marky is so excited.
Ah!
All right, hold on here. Okay, so
That was-
Johnny said Tar Heels for basketball, LSU for football. Barrett said University of Michigan, go blue. Rebecca said Pastor Nicole's answer is awesome. I forget what that was. Buddy, are you a Mountaineer fam?
Bam.
I think he meant fan, but favorite professional team is the Hornets. Hannah Sittler, that's cool. You know what? I don't think I've ever been to a Hornets game. I may have gone once, but if so, I don't remember.
Their stadium is really interesting because most
new
like
one.
basketball stadiums are wide. This is like this, where it's just a circle and you're up. Like it's very interesting.
Kelly said she saw orange a whole lot in her life from Syracuse. Watertown is beautiful. If you haven't go to 1,000 Islands. I was there in January, so it was beautiful with the snow, but it was not. Let's go touring. I was learning how to cross country ski and get frostbite.
Buddy, curling starts tomorrow at 7:05 a.m.
So it starts early.
according to featured events.
VHS tape it.
At
Johnny
7:05.
Johnny
VHS
said
tape.
Yeah.
Hornets for basketball, Braves for baseball. Mom said Super Bowl is trashy. Kelly Berardi, favorite professional, Buffalo Bills and the Eagles. Kevin Nowicki, Pastor Christian Leitner, and you are real big buddies, huh? Nope. Nope. Yep. Nicole, she's pulling out the old school kid stuff. Duke is puke, wake is fate.
Whoa.
Team I hate is NC State. Go Tar Heels.
Yep.
We said that all the time.
Amen.
Yep. Rebecca said she likes ice skating.
Yeah,
And
me too.
Kevin said he saw Phil Mickelson win the AT&T Classic in Atlanta.
He was really nice. I saw him. He was so sweet. He was like waving at all the kids, and Tiger Woods wouldn't look at anyone and
believe
looked
it.
so angry and was like
Really?
cursing and stuff. The film, like there was this little kid like, "Aw," and Phil Mickelson was like waving at him and stuff. And then after that, I took a little nap on.
I remember you've talked about
like,
that nap
what is it,
so
doing
many
things
times.
and stuff. Like it was, you can take a nap watching golf. I took a nap at the golf tournament.
On the really nice
Whoa.
green bed of grass.
I
That's
did.
a real fan.
Oh
Right there.
yeah. She's talked about that nap for years.
I'll never forget
I'll
it.
tell you about
Must
that
have
nap.
been a good nap.
I'll never forget it. It was also a lot of walking.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I have a story about golf, but I can't share it. Can't share how I got to be there. It was a good moment in my life.
On
But
that
it was
note.
a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I was supposed to be being punished, and it wasn't a punishment at all. I really enjoyed it. So it was a great thing.
Kevin said his pro team is the Red Sox.
Red Sox.
Growing up in New Jersey, that was not something you'd want to say.
I am definitely an underdog. I pull for underdogs.
Bengals.
I
What do you
probably am.
The
I
Bengals?
actually probably am. I'll be like,
thought you
this
said
is your
Bengals.
year. You can do
Bengals.
it.
You can do it. Yeah, I
the
like.
Rams. Yeah, definitely. I'll be pulling for Ohio over California.
I like to stereotype everyone's personality and be like, I'm rooting for you because you look like a good person.
I totally root for the team based off of their political stance of their state many times. Like, no, I'm not pulling for you.
Nope.
I'm not celebrating that.
That's a good way to look
Yep.
at it.
Yeah. Nicole pulls for color.
Yeah, she does. She's like,
Much more scientific.
you're purple.
You have pretty colors.
I will
You're
say,
pretty. Dolphins in Minnesota, purple and that blue.
she ends up winning.
She does.
lot.
She
She
ends up,
does.
she's like, I'm pulling for the pretty color. And she's like, dang it, how'd you call that? What insight did you have? What numbers did you see on what was the line? She was like, I don't know, they were just pretty.
It's just
They're
purple.
pretty, I like the colors.
Did you hear there? Well, like I think like 5 or 6, actually longer than that, like about 7 years ago, there was like they called him like the NFL baby, and like they would put 2 stuffed animals in front of him for like an upcoming game. It would be like a Bengal or
Yeah.
a Brown.
Yeah.
I don't know what a Brown.
And whichever one they would choose.
And the baby would pick one, and the baby was accurate like 90% of the time.
Really?
Yeah, so like very popular, very
It's
fast.
because that baby was not far removed from God. They
Probably
hadn't
true.
sinned and gotten unholy yet.
Yeah, that's what it is.
They could still hear.
He was just yielding to the spirit.
That's great.
Samantha said, color's how I pick my favorite protein.
It
Kevin
is
said,
important.
Remember when Payne Stewart was on the PGA Tour and he always wore knickers? I do remember that. I do
What?
It's a type of pants.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, he
Isn't
would.
it a type of underpant?
Underpants?
No,
Buddy.
Oh, okay.
it's where they have the longer socks and the pants stop here but are rolled. That was what they used to wear playing golf all the time.
I love watching movies where people
He
wear
was
those.
just being traditional.
Buddy got murky at the fact that the word was singular when he said it.
I know. That's what I was gonna say. He didn't say underpants. He said underpants. Just the one pant.
He's like, maybe if I say it weird, it'll be less weird.
It wasn't.
Well, it's a valid question though. Why is it always like
no.
your
Oh, no.
like why is this pants? Why
Pant
is it
is only one leg,
Oh, okay.
apparently.
so?
You have
can
to
I-
have pant.
Can I buy a
Pant.
pant?
Nope.
Like why is it always a pair of
Pant.
pants?
A pant.
Jeans. It's always plural, but it's only one piece.
I'll give you good money to go to the store and say, can I buy a pair of pants? Can I buy
a
a
pant?
pant?
Can I buy a pant? Just one
I
pant.
just want to buy
Just
one
one
pant.
Underpant.
What is good money?
Serena's also laughing at underpants.
I have a
Well,
gene.
It doesn't really matter because I'm going to video it and put it on YouTube and I'll make money from that interaction.
Turn it into an NFT.
Yeah. I'm going to make that.
Underpant.
If you like remixed it and added it to music, that could be the next viral video where people are dancing to underpant.
Yeah.
I'm looking to buy just one pant.
Where can I do that?
Yeah.
I don't want to.
I don't want pants. I want a pant.
I wonder if they have that on
I
Amazon.
want a pant.
Would be great. Go to every store in the city and
Yep.
see what the different reactions are.
I want to see if Amazon has it.
Kelly says she's just here to say she loves Marky's laugh. So one
Love
last question.
you.
One last
They
question.
don't.
What is your most confusing or funny action in sports that just makes you laugh or scratch your head? And then the one that I'm thinking of is in the curling, the little person in front going. Sweet. What is your most? So we've taken the number. If this was Family Feud, you would have not to get the number one slot because we just took it from you.
Yep.
But what is your most confusing or funny sports action like that? That just like, what are they doing? Or that just makes you laugh.
Oh, man.
While you're thinking, my favorite action that just happened, Marky, like as soon as Pastor brought it back to sports, Marky shrunk. Like, you're so cute.
I was like, I'd rather talk about pants. I don't have anything to say. I like the people that yell out in golf. Like they're like, now the people are like, Superman, or like weird stuff.
That is great as the golfers walking by. That is great.
Yeah, Kevin said what I was going to say.
That's a great call. Yeah.
In soccer, when someone tries to flop and fake an injury.
That is the worst thing. I would call a
That ruins
penalty
soccer.
for doing that. Like I would, if I saw that, I would call it and penalize it for sure.
It's hilarious.
I was watching.
It's the stupidest thing.
It's terrible.
I was watching a
is.
video where like these guys were going. One guy grabbed the other guy's arm and hit himself in the face.
Yeah. I hate that.
I
hate
do
that.
love
It's
in
a
basketball
great
a lot, too.
sport. It's such a
is.
great sport,
Yeah,
and
that
that
ruins it.
ruins part of it. Yeah.
I do love pictures in figure skating when they're all like,
Oh, like Olympic diving.
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
alarming.
Or the
No, yeah, I know.
synchronized swimming.
Synchronized swimming. I can't take that.
What?
Oh, it
Remember-
makes me laugh so hard.
Remember that one time we did like a full segment where we just
Yeah.
showed those pictures
Image.
of them coming up going, and it was like terrifying.
It was beautiful.
I love Greg's comment. What is that sports ball game where they throw an oversized lemon painted brown? That's pretty funny.
It's called football, American football.
I appreciate you, Greg.
Greg, you hung in today. You went through all the sports. I am so pleased with you. What a sacrifice. That is so awesome.
I was trying to explain rugby the other day to Marky.
Rugby's
Rugby,
great.
Yeah.
there are some interesting parts of rugby, like the throw-ins.
Yeah.
Whenever they like grab the guy's
And,
pants
yeah,
and
and
just
lift them up. Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah, there's rugby is really an interesting sport.
The
Like
scrums.
it's
This
Yeah.
is how Abby explained it to me. It's so rough, they tape their ears so they don't get ripped off.
that is true.
That's the only part that I
was the
remember.
only
That's
thing she
true.
told
It's
me.
a real like that's one of the last like you better be
Oh man.
well, I was going to say that, but they have ladies that do that, but I guess it still holds true for a lot of them. But it's a rough sport. My brother played that for a while.
It's like a version of football without any padding and
Yeah.
protection.
Yeah.
Or rules. It feels
Pretty
like.
Yeah.
Except you can only throw it backwards. Like the Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I like the sport. You know something I really have so it's interesting is out recently America has turned more towards soccer, but the world has been on fire with it for years and years and years. It is so popular. It is so popular all over the world. Truly, it is. Yeah, truly, it is a world sport. But one that is not big here in America, but it is big in most of the world is cricket. And I don't get it, and I don't understand it. I've never read the rules. I've never understood the rules. I've seen a few moments, but I don't get it because I just don't know what they're actually doing.
Is
But
that
like-
the one where they have like the?
it's like a bat.
Yeah,
No,
it's like 360
no.
baseball. You're thinking of croquet.
Oh yeah,
Ah.
that one I think is hilarious.
Yeah.
Cricket is like it's like
Croquet's on a horse
360
with, like, a-
baseball. Like I
Yeah.
can hit it
Ah.
backward.
This is
They
the one
don't-
that's in
they
all like the
bowl
old
it.
movies, right?
Kevin says, I have to say, we talked about all of my favorite subjects today.
This broadcast was
awesome.
for you, Kevin.
Oh.
Greg put his flesh down, and Kevin enjoyed every minute of it.
Greg said, I endured.
Yeah.
Serena says ooh, and I don't know why.
Probably
My
'cause
ear
the
is ripped
ear.
off. Yep.
Kelly says, no
in
joke,
the
my
Bible.
brother-in-law got so many broken bones and concussions from rugby. No doubt.
Yep.
So,
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
my mom says that she watched my brother play rugby. She doesn't understand cricket. I don't either. They would just, we never played it. But
Oh,
Anyway.
polo. What's polo? Where they're on horses?
yeah,
I only know it from the U.S. polo shirts.
yeah. That's an interesting. I've never really watched that a lot, but it's interesting. It's amazing to me that they can hit that ball galloping on a horse with a stick.
Yeah.
Pretty
Skills.
impressive.
They used to throw javelins through people on a horse with a stick.
That is
So
true.
this is
Jousting?
just-
Let's bring it back.
Holly
like-
said, we forgot to mention the sport of bowling. I saw something the other day on javelin throwing at the Olympics where they actually, the guy said, he said this record will never be broken because after they threw it, this guy, the sport had advanced so much that they were on the verge of throwing the javelin out of the arena, like
Wow.
across the, they were, like where his hit was maybe 20 feet from the track. So it was going to go beyond, and they said, we've got to make a rule change. So they changed the javelin and changed the weight of it and everything so it would never be able to be thrown that far. And so they said this guy's world record will probably never be broken. But
I think the one that I'd like to understand, maybe
course.
not just the one, but the one I'd like to understand well is how, what pole vaulting.
That's exactly what I was going to bring
Yes,
up.
Yeah,
like you
I
watch.
like
forgot about that.
There's a TV show called American Ninja Warrior, and the ones who do the best are always pole vaulters because they know how to control their body so well. But you watch them like flip themselves and twist themselves up over that bar just with a stick. I'm like, I don't even know how you do that.
I wonder if I could do that well because I'm light.
I want probably.
Just fling.
But no, like I'd love to see how to learn, not me do it, but I'd like to know just the science behind how they physically do the things they do. And
well, you brought up something that's really interesting to me is because you said the ones who do well were the pole vaulters.
mm-hmm.
I love finding the common denominator that makes something, like finding that thing that works. Like this is why, this is who wins this. And it's like, why? Why is that? Like finding those little pieces of trivia like that, that's the common denominator. Like there's some stuff in medical that's like that. It's like actually autism. If you look up autism and who has it and who doesn't, it's a demographic. It's a very interesting. In other words, it's a certain demographic that has that. And it leads you to make questions about that, you know, and bring up questions. Why is it this demographic has this? Why is it this demographic has that? And that's a great thing, like pole vault. I would have never, I would have not thought of that, but that's really interesting. So I love stuff like that. But I was thinking about the javelin, though. You know, they are never going to break that record unless they somehow got Achilles back, because apparently that dude could throw a spear. Like, man, did you see Troy? I mean,
It was a great movie.
It is a great
I mean, all Brad Pitt did was just played Achilles, and he could throw a spear like that. It was amazing. Like, that's just crazy.
Work of art.
Like, all he had to do, he didn't even have to be Achilles. He just played him, and it was, did you see that? Knocked that guy off the horse. It was crazy.
You should have joined the Olympics.
He should have joined the Olympics. He would have won a wreath.
It's true, Johnny.
yeah.
The first winners were rock climbers. Rock climbers and pole vaulters and gymnasts are the three that do well. But pole vaulters can do all the weirdo
Do well at what?
American Ninja Warrior.
I like rock climbing.
Rock climbing is super fun.
That was
Good
such a great
job.
comment, Marky.
Trying
That
so
was
hard.
amazing.
I was right there with you. I was
doing
gonna
great.
go.
You were doing
I
great.
do like rock climbing. I learned to use my legs, not my arms, because it hurt when I used my arms.
Good job.
Ollie said, we forgot to mention the sport of bowling. Yep. I played on a bowling team for a season, and I really enjoyed it. It was one of my favorite things I've done.
What was your sport that you played?
We're going to go bowling sometime
Racquetball?
soon.
Bowling
I
is.
like that idea. When I saw that bowling alley that was in Albemarle, I got really excited, and then someone said, no, it shut down. Then I got really sad.
So
That's my story.
right before it shut down, it was still open. We
Right
had
before it shut down, it was still open.
right before it shut
Profound.
down, it was still rolling.
Yeah.
And so many of the guys, like Sherman had gone, we had both gone. We had gotten a bowling ball that was designed for us, and got a bag and got shoes, and we were getting ready to go on a regular basis, like once every couple weeks, and go bowling and just have those, that man time, and literally within a month of that happening, they shut it down, and we're like, oh my gosh, what in the world? Dang it. Like we had this great time planned out. We could see ourselves having a good time and enjoying the fellowship and throwing this ball down the lane, and then they shut it down.
Sorry.
It was. So I understand your pain. It was going to be fun. All right.
I will say one great thing about curling is that it looks like a bunch of dads, like suburban dads, like out in their like Hawaiian shirts. Like we just showed up to the Olympics. They let us in. We're just here to clean the floors. They
That is
look
a
like they're.
great perspective.
Oh, it's beautiful. Just wait to see it tomorrow.
And then they yell out stuff, and I really would like to know what they're yelling. I just know tones like, hey, and I'm like, what is he saying? I have no idea.
And their uniforms are really just the most unflattering of all of them.
Yeah.
Like it's always the dad polo tucked into the dad pants and stuff.
It's like ice bowling in a sense.
the dad pants.
It really
Yeah.
is.
Shuffleboard.
Ice shuffleboard. Yeah.
Shuffle.
But they wear bowling clothes.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
And then they slide. And they get to slide on ice. It's a great sport. There's physics involved. You sweep the ice. You get to slide. You get to yell stuff. And even if you don't know what you're saying, just be loud and people will respond. It's a great sport.
I will say that's in all glass houseness. That's the one George and I skip watching. We'll watch it.
You have to watch
We've
it. You
tried.
have to watch it.
It's so boring.
No, then go to sleep.
What is the one?
Take a nap. Apparently, it's a great thing to do. Ask Marky.
Yeah, it is. What was
Take a nap on the ice.
what was, I think it was like with the cyclist or something. I think you and Pastor Nicole were watching it like a while back, and they were like screaming every time they like started or something, and I was just like, why are they screaming?
It's just sports. I get psyched.
I don't remember.
Like, I guess it helps them as they would launch off or something. I don't know.
Tennis.
I don't get that.
Barrett was like totally not the sports person until she and George started dating. I got to watch this transformation, and now she's like pulling for these teams. And originally it was like, what's the team we're pulling for, George? Oh, yes, go Bears, But now it's like, no, it's actually become her. So that's kind of cool to watch that evolution.
We did have to make we had to make an arrangement when we got married because New England and Chicago are not nearly the same sports things.
Nope.
So while I didn't super care, I had enough of my father in me to be like, no, you will not leave the Celtics. So I told him,
The Celtics.
no,
Celtics.
it's the Celtics. I'm sorry. But I told him I would root for all of his Chicago people except he had to become a Celtics fan. So he abandoned the Bulls to become a Celtics fan.
Celtics.
The Bulls right now aren't that great. As soon as they lost Jordan, it's like
Neither are
whatever.
the Celtics.
They're really not, though. I love all of you, and I appreciate the fact that you see a button.
Are you not going to give this to your pastor when he says that they're the Celtics?
He's just doing it to push a button right now. If he was seriously in like establishing doctrine, then I would submit to it. And I'm not arguing, but there is a difference in what is happening right now.
Kelly's asking about why they have made fishing a sport. She said, I love
Yeah.
fishing, but I don't understand how it's become a sport. I know, Kelly. I'm like, what?
There's categories of it. Deep sea fishing, normal fishing, ice fishing, and it's all different sports you can just watch on ESPN and fall asleep to.
Whoa.
What do they do while they're waiting?
Well, ice fishing, you build yourself a hut.
Turn the camera off.
Yeah. Like that's actually something in Maine we used to have like one day a year where it was like free fun snow day and we got to pick our activities and you could go ice skating or whatever. And I ended up ice fishing. And so we were just in this hut with like the heater and stuff. And we'd go ice fishing because there's the holes there and you just are in this house waiting for some fish.
They also have a day where they tap the trees.
Also true. That's what we did for science class. We had tapped maple syrup.
Yeah.
We made our own gum out of tree sap. Because we were Amish. That's what we did. Like, wow, everything's cold and frozen. Let's use it. Come on, children. Johnny just brought up how Holly says don't walk in front of the TV when Holly is watching the Tar Heels.
Really?
I did not know that about
She
you.
said, I've gotten better. I have been competitive.
Wow.
I didn't know you liked the Tar Heels that much, Hall.
That was a great quote.
Good job.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I didn't know that either. I didn't know the competitive part of it. That's really interesting.
Hello, Holly.
So, it's been a chat day, and we started losing people because
We went
probably
like
wasn't that
to
exciting after.
1:30 as well. That's their lunch break.
Everybody's like, I thought that was supposed to be on the Bible. We did mention Jesus.
Yeah.
They got to
did
hear you
mention
say, Greg, you endured. And they're like, okay, we endured too. Bye.
We endured that. That's a good point. That's a good point.
They have loved this so much. They just had to work.
Yeah.
That's true. I understand.
Yeah.
But it was a different day, and sometimes we need those days. But we just praise God for you. And I asked people to put up prayer requests, but no, I didn't ever see anybody do that. But we love you.
We're
And
praying
so,
for the Olympics.
yep. Father, right now, we just praise you and we worship you. Let every person that's part of the Lunch Plus family just be blessed. Let them be whole. Lord, let restoration come into their lives and let their lives be filled with you, Jesus, and be filled with joy in every way. We praise you, Lord, and we worship you. Amen. Now,
Amen.
anybody who's giving, you can go to giveww.org. Anybody who's hanging around, probably you know the drill. If you're not hanging around, you probably won't for long. And anyway, so we love you. Anybody who's given, Lord, let it be blessed. That's helping us get the gospel out to the world. Let it be blessed. Pressed down, shaken together, running over. We love you, Lord. And we thank you for your goodness and abundance for every good work. In Jesus' name, amen. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow at 11:30. Lunch Plus family. And see you.